Hey performers, welcome back to Danny Robertson Music, where we want to help you become the performer that you are meant to be. What does that mean? That means getting up on stage, putting on a show that really connects with your audience. It means making the right kind of impression with your live performance. I'm Danny Robertson. Thanks for joining me today. Today I want to talk about a topic that can be a little bit combative. People tend to be very passionate about their feelings towards this one way or the other. I'm talking about original music versus cover music. The typical thing that I tend to hear from performers is that you can't go to a club and play original music because the club wants covers or the originals just don't work with a live show and things like that. And yes, that can be true to an extent, but it also means that you're not really trying as hard as you think you are. Personal opinion, I find that the best way to perform live is to do a little bit of both. You can be playing covers in a cover band and throw in original tunes. The problem that comes across for most musicians that want to do original music is your music has to be up to par with any cover that you perform. So let's talk about it. I want to look at a little bit of the pros and cons of original music and cover music. So first things first, let's take a look at original music. Now, I love doing original music. I don't get as much time as I'd like to do it, but I did put out an album in, I think it was 2021. And you may or may not know this, but the song that ends each of one of my videos is one of my songs. I think for most of us, original music is where we found our passion for music. It's where we learned how to get creative and come up with ideas. It's why a lot of us become lifelong musicians, because we enjoy that creative process, the idea of building and making something from scratch. So that plays into a lot of the pros of original music when it comes to a live setting. You get artistic expression. You get to do things the way that you want to write things. You get to write the lyrics that you want. You get to play the music that you want. It's very much under your creative control. It also helps you build your own brand that is unique to you or your band. It makes it so that nobody else can hear that music unless they come to your show. And that creates fan loyalty. So when you do get to play original music, you get to have fans that go, I'm going to come to see their show because I love their music so much. There's a Canadian band that I talked about on a video about a year ago called Walk Off the Earth, and they're a lot like that. A lot of what made them popular was they were originally a cover band that made covers in their own unique way, and then they really dove into the original music. And their original music is pretty awesome most of the time. So far, you've got artistic expression and creative control. You get to build your own brand identity, which then can help you build a much more loyal fan base. Another big pro of original music is if you do get to sell any of it, you get to keep all the rights and royalties to your original music in most cases. Now, on the flip side, there are some cons to original music. Now, think about this. You go to play an original song, and it's your first or second or 10th gig playing in front of a bar or a club or a church. Your fans, even the ones that know you well, still might not know your music very well. So there's a lack of familiarity that comes with playing original music. You have to really push your brand in order to get people familiar with it as much as they would be a cover song. And then some of the other cons that come from that, the lack of familiarity, are you might have to spend a little bit more money to push out your brand. You might have to work a little bit harder to market your brand. And quite frankly, the one that would scare me, there is a concern that comes from putting out your own stuff of whether or not your audience will love it or boo you off the stage. It's probably not that extreme either way, but it's probably somewhere in the middle. Now let's look at cover music. Now, cover music has a lot of pros because people already know the songs. You know, things like there's instant recognition. As soon as you start playing it, you know, I'll give you an example. Look at Don't Stop Believing. You hear that piano line, and immediately, most places that you play at, your crowd's going to know that song because that was a world famous song that everybody likes to sing along to. So if you start playing it, they're going to know it. It also makes for easy audience engagement and easy connection with the songs. It basically says to the audience, oh, I know this song. I'm going to go participate in that show. So for a live setting, cover music can be easier for the band. With that, there also becomes the opportunity to be more versatile on stage. You don't have to stick to one genre, one band, one musician, one style of music. If you're playing covers, you can be more versatile. That then implies that you have less creative pressure to entertain your audience with your own style the entire time. You can play a slow song, you can play a fast song, you can play a hip hop song or a rock song or a country song. You're allowed to be more versatile, and that gives you less pressure to do things one way and do it well all the time. Because you can be more versatile, another pro that comes from playing cover music is you get to grow as a musician. You get to learn different styles. You get to play the music and sing the songs in different ways. And that helps you grow. It helps you flex your musical playing muscles. It lets you stretch your performance style and the way that you would work with a crowd. That can actually, on the flip side, help you write more great original music. You have more tools to work with. With cover music, though, there are also plenty of cons. You know, if you're playing everybody else's music, how do you relate to your own style of show, your own style of music performance? You have limited creative control. To a certain extent, even if you stretch your skills and play the songs in a different way than the audience is used to hearing, you're still going to deal with two problems there. Your audience is going to compare the original version of the song to the way that you're playing it. But for that main reason, if you are playing cover music, you have to learn to get it as close as you possibly can to the original song, or you need to put your stamp on it. Because if you do something in between, it's going to show and your audience is going to respond accordingly. You know, and the other thing that comes with performing covers is you have potential situations that can come about. You're limited in your venue choices if you choose to play covers, because nobody's going to really hire often for a big stadium performance when that band is only playing cover tunes that are also played by other cover bands. That's where the original music really tends to stand out, is if you want to grow and build a real following, original music is probably where it's at. The people that book big stadiums are not going to hire a cover band because of the pure fact that there's a lot of legal concerns that come from playing other people's music. There are some places that will let the bands get away with it, or they might be paying their royalty fees so that the bands can play cover music. If you're going to play something big, you do want to be careful in those situations. So now that we've talked about the pros and cons of original music and cover music, here's my personal opinion on the situation. If you're interested in writing original music, then you should absolutely write original music. If you are interested in performing live, it really depends on the situation that you are looking to perform. Churches and smaller clubs and bars do tend to lean towards cover songs, but that doesn't mean that you can't throw in your original tunes. There was a band that I played with for about 10 years that when we first got started, we wrote a lot of original tunes. And for the first few years of the band, those were played in our live show amongst other cover songs. And the truth is that the audience didn't know. We just played them. And then maybe after the fact, once the song had already been played, we might mention, hey, by the way, that was an original tune. You know, a lot of people make this mistake of, getting out and playing cover song. And then before you play the original tune, you decide to make an announcement saying, this next one was written by our band. I hope you like it. You're actually kind of giving your crowd a subtle hint that they should walk back to their seats, go get a drink, go to the bathroom, not pay attention to the band. The word original song tends to deflect crowds away. And I don't know why that is, but that's something to be aware of if you're performing live. So if you want to play music live, you can still throw in originals. You don't necessarily need to announce to the world that they're original songs. Just make sure it's as good as any cover song that you're playing, and don't announce it. Tell them after you've already played it. You might want to do it in a way that says something like, did you guys like that song? Hold up your arms, and if you get a big cheer, then you can go, hey, by the way, that one's our song. You can find it on Spotify or Apple Music, or go look us up. Tell them after the fact if they've already confirmed that the song is something that they like. So as far as I'm concerned, if you want to play covers or if you want to play originals, you do you. Do it however you see fit and just make it work from there. Okay? You might have some challenges with the places that you play, but just go for it. Write some music, have some fun, and just make a good performance regardless of if you're playing original songs or cover songs. Okay? Sound good? Okay. That's it for this week. Thanks again for watching. I really appreciate you guys coming in week in and week out. Best of luck to you on your next great performance, and I'll see you soon. Take care.